tuned into The Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G. All right. Welcome back to the show. You are listening to The Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your man, Gerald Graham. You know me as G once again. We are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is well with everyone. It is Monday, the 18th of December. December this year is about to roll out of here in a minute. It seems like it was just January, just a few days ago, and now we are halfway through the month of December and headed toward the new year in 2024. So I hope all y'all are doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Apparently it was a rainy weekend. I wasn't in town this weekend. However, where I was, it rained all weekend, and then I think we had some bad weather come through here over the weekend as well. But I hope you guys stayed safe. Hope you did the right thing, didn't get in no trouble, because that's what we need to do. We need to stay out of trouble. Miss Rivers, how you doing, Miss Rivers? Miss Rivers has joined us on Facebook. Miss Kaiser, what's going on? Miss Renee, how you doing tonight? Thank you for tuning in tonight. We are on WPMM Internet Radio. We are on Facebook Live as well. So great to be back with you. I did not do a show on last Thursday. I was trying to get it in, but I wasn't able to based on the situation and circumstances and the time and all that good stuff. I was trying. I actually advertised the show, but it all depends on how things go that particular day. So for the last 3 weeks, I've only been on Monday nights. But I try to get on at least once a week, and normally I'm on Mondays and Thursdays. But again, new circumstances, new schedule, and I never kind of know what's going to happen. So I appreciate you guys for bearing with me and sticking with me and still supporting the show, even though the schedule is a little hectic right now. Triple L is on with us tonight. Good to see you on, Miss Triple L. So I appreciate that, Miss Triple L. We was at an event, an African themed event. She's making reference to some pictures I posted on Facebook from this past weekend. But I was attending in Savannah, Georgia. I was in Savannah, Georgia, attending a cultural event and / birthday party, if you will. But it was a cultural event, and the African theme was the attire, and that's what we did over the weekend. So I was in Savannah, Georgia this weekend, so that's why I did not see what the weather was here in Northwest Florida. Mr. John Adams has joined us as well. Good to see you on. Let's go ahead and take care of the particulars so we can get on with this show. Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired, Part 2. I started on last Monday, and it was supposed to finish up on Thursday, but again, we did not get on the air on Thursday. So we're going to take care of that tonight. I do want your comments. Put your comments into the comment section. Not taking phone calls tonight, but you can comment in the comment section. If you're on Facebook, the Facebook page is TTWG Graham. TTWG Graham is the Facebook page. It's public, so you can go on and listen to the show from the Facebook page. Again, once we are WPMM Internet Radio, where we play more music, the best in independent neo soul, jazz, talk, hip hop, old school music. WPMMradio.com is the website. You can download the app as well from the App Store. Depending on if you have Apple or Android, we are on both. We're on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We are also, I think we're expanding. We may be on Instagram here soon if we're not already there. But people that don't have the website or don't have the app, just text them, WPMMradio.com. Put that in the message field. All I have to do is click on it, hit play, and they can listen to the show as well. Also, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. And let me know you're out there. If you're on Facebook, hit a heart, thumbs up, drop me a comment. Let me know you're out there. The views and opinions expressed by individual radio hosts and guests are of their own. It does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to align with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. So now that we got that out of the way, And I think I mentioned Mr. John Adams has joined us tonight as well. Good to see you on here, buddy, tonight. Good to see you. I know you guys, you all have some interesting comments on the topics that we're going to talk about today. And once again, we started on Monday night, last Monday night, sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the reason why I titled the show "Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired" is because the issues that we are facing, the issues that we're facing today in today's society, whether it be local, whether it be state, whether it be federal, there's so much ignorance and so much hatred in the world right now. And people just want to have control and gain control and keep control and want to monopolize and want to be dictators and things of that nature. We have all this going on, and at the same time, our communities, particularly in the Black communities, we having a breakdown in our communities, and it has got to the point to where it's depressing. It's depressing, particularly for people such as myself. And I know I'm not the average Joe, if you will, especially when it comes to news. When you become a quote unquote news junkie, listening to the news and keeping up with things can be very, very depressing because there's not a whole lot of positive things to report in the news cycle today. You have to kind of dig to find the positives, even on issues such as, right now, the state of our union right now is a positive, but all you hear about is the negative, and you hear people dwell on the negative. People believe negative, whether they true or false, they believe it. Even when it comes down to, right now, if you talk to a Republican right now, they're going to tell you that Joe Biden is running the country straight into the ground and this, that, and other. And the fact of the matter is the economy is getting better. Job uh, the job market is at its best. The unemployment is at its lowest. Wages are going up. The inflation is coming down. The stock market is up. Uh, we have all these positives going on in as far as in our federal government. But if you listen to the dumbasses on the other side of the aisle, they're going to tell you that Biden hadn't done anything in office and everything is failing, and the orange idiot is supposed to be the savior. They dwell on they highlight and prop up the negative and the dumbasses, and the good things are not getting out there to the people. So again, sick and tired of being sick and tired is the topic of the show, part two. Because we got a lot going on. We have a lot going on. Let's see, we got some comments here. John Adams say, I'm sick and tired of the FSU fans crying about the bowl pick. See, the fact of the matter, I think John is a Gator, and the Gators, if I'm not mistaken, he's a Gator, but the Gators didn't even make a bowl game, if I'm not mistaken, and if they made a bowl game, they played back in October. They played in the What's That Bowl. So nobody knows what that bowl is. That's why they call it the What's That Bowl. But anyway, that's why he's salty by Florida State, because the Gators are not riding high like my Seminoles are. Let's see. Miss Triple L, she's talking about the news cycle. She said that's why I filter and limit what I watch. And Triple L, Miss Triple L, I wish I could limit what I watch, and I can't. I would love to, but I can't because I have a platform to where I need to get the information out to the public. That's the platform I chose, and that's the path I chose. So it's like I'm obligated to do what's necessary in order to get the truth out there and tell people the truth. So it's like I have to watch it. Even stations like Fox News and Newsmax and things of that nature, I have to watch to basically, I call it, see what the enemy is doing. So, I wish I could filter it. Sometimes I have to just turn everything off There are days where I just turn everything off and I don't watch any news or whatever, and that's just to get my own mental back into in perspective, if you will, back into shape to where because it's draining. It's extremely draining. So, but I have to do what I have to do. Miss Savory, good to see you on Miss Savory, and Miss Savory is on. She said good evening to everyone. How's the family? Family is good. Everybody's good. Everybody's taking care of themselves and doing as well as can be at this time. Appreciate you asking. Ms. Triple said, I know I can't. I'm glad you don't, because I can still get it. Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm here for. That's the whole purpose of this show, is to get the information out there, but get it out there to where people can really understand what's going on. Because you watch the major news channels and things of that nature, and they bring on all these people that use all these words that don't mean anything to anybody, and they dance around the actual topics, and they let people come on and bullshit them and tell them lies and this, that, and other. And this is not the show that I do. We're going to hold your feet to the fire. We're going to make sure that the truth is getting out there. People are telling the truth. If any guest on my show come on my show and try to blow smoke up, we don't do that. I'm gonna call you out, and that's what we don't get in mainstream media a lot of times. Mr. Adams says President Biden is doing a great job. However, Trump's loud bully pit. I'm sorry, I can't see. He says Bullhorn is covering up everything that he's doing. Yeah, we got dumbasses in the world. We have dumbasses in the world that believe people like uh, Trump, and believe people like what's his name, Gohmert, and these committee chairmen and things of the nature that's just coming up with dumb stuff. This whole impeachment, which we'll talk about that in a moment, but it's just we got dumbasses out there that believe dumb shit. That's basically what it is. A bunch of dumbasses that believe anything you tell them. And those same people that are supporting the rhetoric and the lies that's being told by Trump and his minions. And if you ask them a question about what's going on in the world, they can't even answer the question. They don't have a clue. You ask them, I've seen interviews where they ask, what did Trump do for the country? And all these people that support him could not give one thing that Trump did, one positive thing that Trump did. That's the stupidity level that we're dealing with when we're talking about people on the other side, if you will. Mr. Adams said one thing that is not, Jimmy, a lot of press, is that the fact that President Biden has signed executive orders to pay off a lot of student loans. I'm hearing on the radio all the time about people getting their student loans paid off, and we're not talking about dollars. Yeah, Biden did. He's trying to get student loans. That from what I understand, and Mr. Adams, if I'm wrong, please forgive me and please correct me. That is on hold right now. I think that case is in the Supreme Court right now, in regards to on its way to the Supreme Court and paying off these student loans. I believe that was blocked by a circuit court or some entity, if you will. But I think that's on hold, and they're still trying to get that to go through. But last I heard, it had been halted. But I will check into that. I appreciate you bringing that up. Mr. Collette. Mr. Collette is on as well. And Mr. Collette is out of Texas. I believe he's still out there in Texas. Good to see you on here, buddy. He said, I posted today on more GOP hypocrisy, and they are kicked out of Christian Ziegler, but keeping the Trumps for the same and more. And y'all, please forgive me. I can read. Even though I went to public school, I can read. Right now, I can't see. My eyes are shot right now. So if I'm stumbling reading this stuff, it's because I can't see it. So y'all bear with me. I look at a computer screen all day. I've been looking at a computer screen since 8 o'clock this morning, and my eyes are shot right now. And it's hard for me to read, especially from the distance that I'm trying to read from. So I'm not retarded. I promise you I'm not. I can read, even though I went to public school. So, so if I struggle, I just can't see what I'm reading. But yeah, the hypocrisy of the GOP right now is stunning. And let's get into some of those. Let's get into some of those. And one of the stories that I wanted to bring up on Monday, coming out of Texas, one of Colette is out there in Texas, by the way. He's out in Texas. Uh, this young lady, I think her last name is Abbott, if I'm not mistaken, and she has a situation. She had a situation. No, I'm sorry. Her name is not. Damn it, I confused her with the governor. Um, appreciate that, Triple L. I'll try it. I'll try it, but it's it's. I think it might just be me getting older, and my eyes just getting worse and worse. But her name is Kate Cox out there in Texas. Kate Cox was a young lady who was has been given a diagnosis in regards to her pregnancy. She was given a diagnosis that her child would not survive. That child was going to be born basically dead, if you will. I hate to use that term, but stillborn. Let's use that one. And also going through the process of childbirth, her own life was in jeopardy. She could possibly die giving birth to a child that was not going to live. And she petitioned the courts in the state of Texas to be able to get an abortion performed based on her situation in regards to the child's life and her life. And initially, she was granted uh, a lower court granted her that permission to seek uh, an abortion in the state of Texas. However, when that was granted by a lower court, then the right wing dumbasses who want to play, executioner, if you will, in her case, uh, petitioned to block that particular ruling, and they succeeded in blocking that ruling. So when she thought that she had some hope in the state of Texas, after the first ruling, it was blocked by a higher court. So now she was facing a situation. If she had stayed in Texas, she's facing a situation of one, having a stillborn child that was not going to survive, and facing the possibility of her dying while delivering this child. So she had to basically escape the state to go to another state that had laws in place to where she could do what she needed to do. Not only was best for herself and her own health, was best for uh, everyone around her. Because you know, obviously, I've never been pregnant, but I have had a situation, and I'm telling just a little bit of my personal business. And me and my wife, we conceived at one point in time, a few years back, and went to a routine checkup, and we found out that our child was no longer living in the womb, and we had to wait 3 days in order for the birth to take place. So she had to walk around for 3 days carrying a child that she knew had already passed and would not see the outside world. And that feeling alone is one of the worst feelings to have. So, and I had the feelings as a male, as a potential father of a child. So I can imagine what a woman goes through in that case. But Miss Cox had to escape and flee Texas in order to save her life. The people in Texas wanted her to die. The legislatures and the courts and wanted this lady to die. That's the only way you can look at it. Again, I put it in layman's terms for people to understand. They want to take a religious belief, and there's nothing wrong with being a Christian, being a Muslim, being a Jew, being a Buddhist, being whatever your religious preference is. There's nothing wrong with having your religion, but when you force your religion on other people, when you force your religious beliefs on other people, when you legislate, when we supposed to have separation of church and state, according to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that good stuff, you're supposed to have separation of church and state. But you govern based on a religious belief that everyone don't believe in. That's foul. We should not do that. And for a woman to have to go through what she has to go to because we got all these old, white, retarded, dumbass men that's making these laws, and then we got dumb women that and I hate to talk about people, but it's necessary. You have these dumb women that go along with this, that allow or don't mind old white men telling them what they can and cannot do with their own bodies. And this the government from the state level on up to the federal level is going to allow this woman to die because of their religious beliefs. And that's the world we live in right now. So I don't understand when it comes to the political side of things, as far as political affiliation and things of that nature. I don't understand how a woman can vote for a Republican. I just don't. I don't understand that. That boggles my brain. If a Republican woman out there is listening and want to explain it, please jump on, drop your comment, help me understand. Why do you want a old white man, and that's basically what they are, who's making these rulings and making these laws and passing these bills? Why are you allowing a old white man to dictate what you do with your own body? You don't have control of your coochie at all, and that's sad to say that in the United States of America. And we're basing it on religious beliefs when everybody don't believe the same. But anyway, that's going on in Texas, and I was going to talk about that show, that particular topic on Monday, and I didn't get to it. Sick and tired of being sick and tired is what we're talking about today, Mr. Let's see, we got a few more comments. Triple L said, "Oh my God, my daughter had to do the same thing." Mr. Adams said, "I think she lived in Mississippi. She would have been arrested when she got home." There's some tough laws out there in regards to abortion. So that may have been the case. Triple L also said, "Oh my God." Okay, so that's a repeat comment. I apologize. But and here's the thing. Here's the hip. And Mr. Collette, if he's still on here, I mean, he talked about the hypocrisy of the Republicans, of the GOP, if you will. And here's the hypocrisy, especially in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, they're supposed to be pro-life, and they're trying to protect life, or whatever, what have you, if you will. But they are quick to take grown men and grown women and usher them to the execution chamber in the state prisons and put them to death. You won't allow a woman to have an abortion to save her life, but you'll take these men and these women and usher them to the death chamber in the prisons and kill them. So which is it? Are you pro-life or not? How can you be pro-life when it comes to abortion, but you okay with sending men to the death chamber? And most of those, a lot of those men men and women that's going to the death chamber are innocent. Most of the ones that are in line of going to the death chamber are innocent. Want to know how I know they're innocent? Since 1972, I believe it is 1972. There has been 194. If I might be off one or two, there must be 100. There's 194 that people that has been released from prison, from death row, because evidence surfaced to exonerate them from the crime that they had committed, the crime that put them on death row. It comes to find out that they were innocent. 194, if I'm not mistaken, it's the number. Anybody can do the research and find me in it. But I'm right there, right below 200 people since 1972, I believe, has been exonerated because it was found that they did not commit the crime that they were accused of, and these people had sat on death row for decades, and was finally released because of evidence surfacing. But you're okay with putting people to death in the death chamber, but you're pro-life when it comes to abortion. That's the hypocrisy that we deal with, particularly within the GOP. Me personally, I don't think there should be a death penalty, period, because I don't think any man have the right to tell another man that he has to die. Even though, some of the crimes that people commit are heinous, they're disgusting. It definitely warrants punishment. But when it comes to punishment, I don't agree that anybody has the right to tell anybody that they have to die, regardless of what they did or didn't do. That's just my personal opinion. And I think a death penalty is out for a lot of people. Because if I was in that situation and if I went out there and committed one of these heinous crimes, my choice would be to die. I wouldn't want to sit in prison for the rest of my life. Sitting in prison for the rest of my life is too much of a punishment for me. So I would welcome the death penalty to where I don't have to sit and suffer the rest of my days. And a lot of these people that sitting on death row went on death row when they was in their teens, when they was in their early 20s, and they're in their 50s and 60s now, and they're being found that they're innocent, and they're walking out of prison after 30, 40 years in prison on death row or what have you, and their life are ruined. And I'm not saying everybody on the death row is innocent. No, I'm not saying that. But I can say for a fact, based on the evidence, that at least 194 of them were innocent that were sitting on death row. But that's the hypocrisy that we deal with within the GOP. Let's see. Mr. Adams said the most ironic thing I heard was Kay Ivey signed the abortion law and said all life is precious. Then the next week signed the execution warrant. Again, that's the hypocrisy of the GOP and dumbasses on that side of the aisle. And I'm not saying every Republican is stupid, but most stupid people are Republicans. But anyway, Mr. Collette said Texas leads the country in execution. Yeah, they putting people down in Texas like crazy, like it's a weekly event. Just like karaoke in Texas, they have a karaoke night once a week in Texas, and the guest of honor don't get to sing their last song. And Mr. Adams saying, get no compassion. I'm assuming he's making reference to the people that are being released after being on death row for sitting on death row before they're exonerated. Mr. Triple L said, I agree, give them life imprisonment. And, that's, for people who go out there and commit these heinous crimes, the vicious murders and the rapes and this, that, and other, whatever the case may be, do I think they have a place in society? No, I do not. But do I think anyone have the right to say that they have to die? No, I do not. We have street justice, what they call between street justice and street crime, period, that's taken enough lives where somebody decides on the street that they're going to take another human being's life. But it shouldn't be sanctioned by our government to take someone's life. Mr. Adams said, what about the school shooter in Tampa? And this is the one that was recently sentenced to life. They got the life sentence. He killed, I think it was 4 and shot like 16, 19 people that was wounded in that particular shooting. He got life in prison. And I agree with that. And I'm sure if y'all say, well, if one of those victims was my family member, I would think different. Would I want that person to die? Yes, I would want them to, but at the same time, I still don't believe that a man or woman has the right to tell someone they have to die. So, and I wouldn't want that person to have an out. But that young man in that school shooting was 15 years old when the shooting occurred. He's 17 now. He was just sentenced to life without parole, so he would never never see the light of day as an adult. His whole life would be spent behind prison bars. He was locked up at the age of 15. And, you know, the life expectancy of a white man is 70 plus years. So he's going to sit there for 60 plus odd years before he meet his demise, unless something happened to him prior to that. Mr. Collette says, I differ with you on that. The guy, Dylan in South Carolina, who shot up the church, I don't want to feed a murderer. And that's a valid point. Wonder, I promise you that's a valid point. And I understand, because do I think he should walk the earth? No. But I still don't. My problem is that, again, you're giving man the authority to say, this person has to die. This person has to die. Well, this one can live, but now this one has to die. And that's my whole problem with the situation. You're giving another man that authority, a man or a woman, if you will. The governors of the states have that authority to say this person that live or die. The judge that sits on the bench have the authority to say this person, you know, usually that's the first person that's going to pass sentence. The judge is in that particular case is going to pass a sentence to say this person gets to live or die. And then you go through the appeal process. And then somebody else say, okay, this person gets to live or die. Another judge in another court. You go through another appeal process. Another judge in another court has that same authority. You get to live or you get to die. And then when it comes down to where they say the execution date, the governor of that state has the authority to say you can live or you can die. That's what I have the problem with. And I understand the cost of housing someone in a prison or whatever the case may be. I understand. I think, let's see, Mr. Adams said, Tel Bundy got his. Mr. Warnock says you are feeding, housing, and giving free medical, but the consequences are known when the crime is committed. Like I say, well, I can empathize on that. I can understand the point of view. But I still got to, if somebody did something to one of my family members or what have you, a heinous crime, murder, whatever the case may be, yeah, I would want them to die. I'd probably be one of the ones that want to kill them. But I still say we're living in a world where we give man too much authority. And that's the problem that I have. I'm not saying that these people are worthy of walking this earth, because, you know, people who commit crimes, you know, particularly, you know, like the school shooter down there in Tampa, people like Dylan that shot up the church, you know, people like McVeigh that, you know, bombed the federal building down there in Oklahoma. You know, I understand that these people should not be amongst society. I understand that. But I have a problem with someone having that much power. That's the only thing. I share the same sentiments with you, Wonder, in regards to the you know, that person, you know, still being amongst society, that person having, you know, using my tax dollars to feed and house this person or whatever, you know, I understand all that. So, Triple L says she's dropped a comment. I appreciate your comments, and, you know, continue with the comments. Continue to put your comments in the comment section. We're going to try to get to every comment here. Triple S said they pick and choose if it was equal and fair, then I might be able to bend, but the execution is unequal justice, like most of the whole system. And again, I can agree with you on that, Ms. Triple L. You know, especially when it comes to these people. You know, some people, you know, for a fact that they committed the crime, but a lot of them is a matter of opinion. It's a matter of, you could come up with enough circumstantial evidence to put someone on death row, and, you know, again, 194 people can attest to the fact that innocent people sit on death row. because they've been exonerated. Just imagine how many people are still sitting on death row today that more than likely did not commit the crime that they are being accused of. I wanted to say, as in the 70s, 33K a year to house criminals. We have people that don't make that. Triple L said your color sometimes all that is needed, and we know, the justice system is tilted in the wrong direction when it comes to justice for Black and brown people. We know that. We know that we get the sentences that are not fair, that are not just. We know that we get a longer sentence for the same crime that is committed by our Caucasian counterparts. That takes place, in the state of Florida and Georgia and, across the country. That happens anywhere. But, would I want somebody to get the death penalty? Yes, I would. But do I think that the man have the right to tell somebody they have to die? That is the problem. That is the issue that I have, especially when there's question marks on if this person even committed the crime. So, sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're continuing the show from last Monday, going over some things, and I appreciate the comments on that. But we're going to change. We're going to shift gears here. Let's talk about, and I appreciate the comments on that. I would get into the local situation, but I'm gonna leave that alone here until right at the end of the show. We'll talk about that, because all these folks in Pensacola lost their damn mind. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go right here, because I think right now with the government, let's stick with our government. Let's go on the government side of things, because I have a few people on here that follow what the government is doing. And right now we have the GOP that is controlling the House of Representatives. We have the GOP that is controlling the Supreme Court. We have a very, 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 very narrow majority in the Senate. And I think we're only one vote up in the Senate in regards to maintaining the minority, or the majority, if you will. And when I say we, my voters registration say Democrat. So if I say we, I'm referring to Democrats. However, I'm probably more of an independent than I am a Democrat, because I think that everyone has. I think everyone well, going back some years, the Republican Party used to have some people that had some common damn sense. Used to. Nowadays, the Republican Party as a whole is full of shit. And they're a bunch of dumbasses, a bunch of ignorant people that wants to just have control over situations that they really don't need to have control over. Let's see, I think we got a couple more comments. Miss Triple L got to jump off. She got the conference call. So I appreciate you jumping on. If you want to listen to the rest of the show, just log into my website, to my Facebook page after you get done, and you can finish watching it. It'll be posted. Appreciate you joining me tonight. Mr. Collette said, true. Let's see. True triplet Carly here in Garland, Texas, killed her 3 kids and blamed a black person. Susan Smith, South Carolina, drowned her kids and blamed a black person. Yeah, it was another story I was watching the other night, and it's ironic. Another story I was watching the other night, where a husband killed his wife and blamed a black person, and they actually they arrested like 3 people, and they held the last one, and that last one spent 20 plus years in prison. That last one, no, it wasn't 20 years. I forget the number, the amount of time, but he got arrested and was convicted of this murder when the husband had killed his wife and blamed the black man for it. So, but anyway, Our government right now, our Republican Party is causing havoc. They are basically they're not bucking against the system. They have completely tore down the system, and they want to operate on a autocratic type of environment, if you will, and have a dictator. And I'm talking about the orange idiot. We have these people, lawmakers, the laymen, the citizens of the world, or what of the United States, or whatever, that support this garbage. I'll talk about y'all in a minute, but let me talk about the lawmakers here. We have lawmakers. We have the Speaker of the House right now, Michael Johnson, who is in full support of having someone like the orange idiot come back in office, regardless of all the things. I can sit here and I can close out the show just naming all the negative stuff that the orange idiot has done and been convicted of and been accused of and this, that, and other. I can name all this stuff. And still the GOP, the Republican Party, the dumbasses, the idiots on the right side of the aisle want this man to be president of the United States. How sick in your brain do you have to be to support this kind of bullcrap, to support this type of garbage, to support this type of hatred, because and support this type of bigotry and support the racism, and want a convicted, or I guess I can use the word convicted, but being found liable for sexual assault, which means that you've been found liable that you raped someone. You've been found civilly liable for the crime of rape. You done been found liable in many courts for fraud. You are now facing 91 counts on 4 indictments for various crimes, including fraud and election fraud, having top secret documents that you don't share with the Russians. Again, I can close out the show by talking about all the stuff that the orange idiot did, and we have these MAGA dumbass Republicans that are supporting this and that are still going to vote for a criminal, one of the biggest criminals in U.S. history. And I gather to say, and I'm going to say it here, and it's going to come out at some point in time, I guarantee you he has a body or two on him. I would guarantee it. I probably get kicked off Facebook here in just a second. So if I disappear off Facebook, it's because I just said the orange idiot got some bodies on him. And I'm sure he does. But we have dumbass people like the voters of the Republican Party who still are going to vote for this idiot. We have people who are running against him, presidential candidates that are running against him that won't say a negative word about him. The only one that's saying anything is Chris Christie, and he's so far back in the polls to where he don't have a chance in the world of winning anything. He may have dropped. I don't know if he even dropped out yet. But he's the only one that is saying anything against the orange idiot. But the contradictory and the hypocrisy of all that is when Trump was in office, he was Trump's right-hand man. Mr. Pugh, what's going on, Mr. Pugh? Good to see you on here. He said the Republicans see the handwriting on the wall. That black and brown people will be in the majority very soon. You're exactly right about that. Fear of a Black Planet. Fear of a Black Planet. I think Chuck D said that in a song back in the early days of hip hop. Miss Saber said they are afraid of Trump, and the only time people are afraid of somebody, to kind of piggyback on your thought, Miss Saber, the only time people are afraid of someone like a Donald Trump, like the orange idiot, it's because, one, they got something on them that can be detrimental to their own future, their jobs, and this, that, and other. So they got something on them, and I believe that in a lot of people in the Republican Party, Trump has something on these people. that can tell something that's going to devastate and put these people either out of their office or in a jail cell somewhere. So they have to continue to cater to him. Or he has been. It's no secret that he has been tied to the mafia. If you think I'm lying, look it up. It's his family, from his grandfather to his father to him, has had mafia ties coming out of New York. So, most people are coerced into supporting dumbasses. And when they come to these lawmakers, I believe it's as such. And then we have the ones who just are power hungry and want a particular party. They will put party over people and want a party to remain in power, and they will do anything that they have, even supporting someone as corrupt as a Trump. Mr. Collette says, if Trump doesn't go to jail, we are in trouble. And that's a fair statement to make, Mr. Collette. I promise you it is. However, Trump, the latest polls that I just saw, and I didn't see the whole report, and I hate to put anything out there that I didn't see the whole report, but it kind of gave me a little hope, if you will. What I just heard just briefly prior to coming on the air tonight is that Nikki Haley is gaining ground. Not that I'm a Nikki Haley fan or anything of that nature, but I'd rather see anyone run against. If Biden have to have a candidate, I'd rather see anyone other than Trump as the Republican nominee. But a little bit I heard, Nikki Haley is gaining momentum within the poll that I heard, and I'm not sure which poll that was. She was in 15 points of Trump, which we know prior to that report coming out, the next person behind Trump was dumbass DeSantis, and he was like 30-some, 40 points behind. So if Nikki Haley is gaining ground, again, I'm not a Nikki Haley fan. She's a sellout as well. Mr. Collette put it in there. She said, I saw Nikki Haley had 29%. Yeah, and if you go back just a couple of weeks ago, Nikki Haley was polling at about 6%, 7%. So she has made a drastic jump. Ms. Saber put it in there in the comments as well. Haley 41%, DeSantis 45%, Trump 66%. So the walls are closing. Like I say, Nikki Haley a couple 3 weeks ago, she was polling at about 6-7%. So he's losing ground, and I think that if you didn't see where he did an interview a couple weeks ago where he said that I'm only going to be a dictator on day one. Dumbass, idiot. But you still, even though he said I'm only going to be a dictator for one day, all the rhetoric that has followed that since he said that comment, and that's not the first time he has made a comment that that proves that he wants to be an autocrat. But after saying that comment, he has ramped up the rhetoric in regards to him saying things that like quoting Putin, Kim Jong-un, what's the name in Korea? Kim Jong-un, Korea. He's even Hitler. He's been compared to Hitler with some of the rhetoric that he's using. So you're going to have them dumbass Republican, MAGA Republicans that are still going to support him regardless of what he says or what he does. But based on the numbers, based on the polling numbers, somebody is halfway coming to their senses. And when I say halfway, that means that they have turned and not going to vote for Trump, but they're still going to vote Republican. But at the same time, if you vote Republican, you're still not all the way. You still some wrong within your brain if you think a Republican is going to bring any type of justice or any type of equality and willing to reach on both sides of the aisle. You're fooling yourself if you think that's going to happen. Let's see. Let's get back to the comments. Larry Pugh says Nikki afraid of Trump base, and Nikki Haley still hadn't. And glad you brought that up, Mr. Pugh. Nikki Haley still has not said really anything negative against Trump. She's very selective in her words when she's asked a question about Trump. She won't say. She really won't say anything negative. She don't want to talk about anything that has taken place. She will redirect and will divert and talk about what's going to happen in the future versus what has already taken place. She's very, very selective in how she comments and how she responds to questions when they ask her about Trump. She won't say anything negative about him. Again, Nikki Haley served in the Trump administration. More likely he got something on her. So she's not going to say anything. So that's why, even though I would prefer to see her as the Republican nominee versus Trump, she's still a scoundrel. She's still foul. But anyway, let's get to these comments now. Mr. Collette said she seemed to be winning the women. And I'm gonna say this about women. And if you're offended, if you're a woman and you're offended by what I say, then you need to reevaluate yourself. You have to be real stupid as a woman to vote for Trump. You have to be one of the dumbest women in the world to vote for Trump as a woman. Because Trump spearheaded the Supreme Court to put these three dumbass justices that were not even qualified to be on the Supreme Court, but put them on the Supreme Court just for to overturn Roe versus Wade. So that you don't have control over your own coochie. But you're going to vote for him. You're dumb. You're stupid. The fact that this man has been accused by 20 plus women of sexual rape, sexual assault, sexual battery, 20 plus women. One or two may lie. We all know that we find that one or two cases in, out of 100 that one person may be made up. But you got 20 plus women that said this man done sexual assaulted me, done raped me, done committed sexual battery. But you're voting for him. You're a dumbass. And I tell it to you to your face. So if you're any Republican woman out there that's going to vote for Trump that want to come talk to me, come talk to me. And I'm going to call you stupid in your face, but I'm going to tell you how you can be better. I promise you I will. But anyway, let's get back to these comments. Larry Pugh says Trump is beating Nikki Haley in South Carolina, and that's her state. Well, we all know what South Carolina means. So, if you go against the status quo in South Carolina, a lot of times you're not gonna prosper. We look at his name just, but anyway, South Carolina is a whole nother, South Carolina is still stuck in slavery days. So you got to be careful what you do in South Carolina. John Adams said, I think RFK Jr. is the new dumbass. And if oh my God, if you stupid enough that you vote for RFK Jr., you really stupid. You're really stupid. You're uneducated, and your mama should have swallowed. One of Colette said, yes, all hates the U.S. and I'm sorry. Again, I can't see. I can read. I just can't see. And he chooses to quote them. That speaks volumes. Yeah, he said, they all hate the U.S. And these are the dictators that do not like the United States at all. Kim Jong-un, Netanyahu, Putin, all these people that do not like the United States at all. He's quoting them and he's praising those people and he's patting them on the back and saying they're doing a wonderful job and things of that nature. And you dumbasses out there that want to vote for this wannabe dictator. Let's see. We have John Adams said she was his U.S. ambassador. Yeah, she was an ambassador in his administration. We're talking about Nikki Haley. He also said, I was with two white men and a black woman. They all said they are voting for Trump. Well, the two white men, I can understand. The black woman is an idiot. I don't know who you was talking to, but tell her that G said she's an idiot. and for her to contact me. Tell her to contact me, whoever that woman was, John. Tell her to contact me because I want to pick her brain. And I hate to call my black queens idiots, but she need to be called out. She need to be put on Front Street. She need to be educated. She need to be deprogrammed. She need to get out of that cult and slave mentality and come back on this side of reality. So tell her that G called her a dumbass and he wants her to come and talk to me. He put in Scott. I hope you ain't talking about Tim Scott. Tim Scott was the black Republican token out there in South Carolina, I believe it was, who was running for president, who dropped out after he went and found him a mail order girlfriend to parade in front of before a presidential debate. He had to find him a white woman to parade, so white people would think that oh, he's with a white woman, so we can vote for him. But anyway, he had to drop out because there was nobody gonna go for his buffoonery, if you will. Let's see. We've got a couple more comments. I think we it's the top of the hour already. We got a couple more comments. Trump quotes Hitler. He definitely has, especially in the last week or so. He is quoting Hitler. We all know Hitler led the demise of millions of Jews and put them in these concentration camps. He was the spearhead of the Holocaust. And Trump is quoting him and saying he's a strong leader and this, that, and other. So John Adams says she is voting her pocketbook. She's a business owner. I don't give a damn what she is. She's an idiot until I said it. And tell her come talk to me. I want to talk to her. I want to see what business she run into. So come tell her talk to me. If she willing to sell her soul for saving a couple dollars in taxes, which is unfair for the rich folks who making all the money to pay less in taxes than people who are working, for $12, $14 an hour. They paying more taxes than these rich people. Then she just a sellout. She's a dumbass. Tell her to come talk to me, John. I promise you, I want to talk to her. I know I'm being a little facetious here, but I promise you I want to talk to her. So give her my information. Tell her to inbox me. Tell her to email me at thetruthwithg@yahoo.com. Once again, that's thetruthwithg@yahoo.com. I'm gonna read this last comment and then we're gonna get out of here. Wanda Collette says, so Nikki got her gain from removing the Confederate flag from South Carolina Capitol, but she lost the Hicks if she had them. Yeah, removing that flag was a big deal. Removing that flag was a big deal. If you, regardless of what state you are, especially in South Carolina and Alabama and Florida, you remove that flag, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. She lost some of the Trump people, but I think the Trump people that got at least 2 brain cells can see that Trump, unlike Nikki Haley, even though Nikki Haley got her policies, I'm not in line with her policy position at all, but at least she's articulate enough to state a policy position. Trump, you asked him about a policy today, he couldn't tell you left from right. So, but anyway, WPMM Internet Radio, it's your boy G. You don't listen to The Truth with G. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Had some wonderful comments tonight. Wonderful comments tonight. I really do appreciate you guys for tuning in. John just put in a petition went around for her to remove that flag. Obviously, if you put the fire to them, put their back against the wall, at some point they'll cave. Do I believe she believes in her heart that flag should have came down? No, I do not. But at least she caved into the pressure of that particular situation. So, but I think we're gonna have to come back part three. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think we're gonna have to have a part three. I don't know if that part three is gonna take place on Thursday. I'm gonna keep you informed. Again, my situation as far as my schedule, I'm trying to get to you on Thursdays, but it's very, very difficult to get here at 6 o'clock on Thursdays with my new situation here. Um, go Eagles, I say. Um, Wonder Colette said he would say the policy is in the bathroom. And so, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. I promise you, I appreciate you guys listening to the show tonight. Go ahead and share that on your Facebook page. I'm gonna repost. It's going to be posted on my Facebook page, so like and share if you will. Thank you so very much. I will be letting you know if I can get a Thursday show in this week. I can't promise that, but I definitely will try. I think Christmas is coming soon. I think Christmas is next week. Matter of fact, next Monday night. So I won't be on Monday night. I don't think I'll be on Christmas night. But you know me, I'm good. I may slide in here on you on Christmas, and I believe Christmas is Monday if I'm not mistaken. So if I don't talk to you guys before the Christmas holiday, you guys have a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas. If you're celebrating different religion, Hanukkah, whatever you may be selling, Kwanzaa, enjoy your people, enjoy your family, love on each other, stop this hate. Let's stop killing each other. Let's do better as a people. Let's make sure that we are hanging in there and doing the right thing. Especially our Black people, we have to do better. I didn't get to talk about the local situation. However, um, we still got all these shootings going on in Pensacola. We got to cut that out. Even up until last night, we still got these shootings going on. We got to get that stopped somehow, some way, and we'll talk about that more in the coming weeks as well. So, but once again, thank you so very much for joining me. Hopefully, I'll see you Thursday. If not, you guys have a happy holiday season. It's been a wonderful ride this year, and we're going to continue on into next year. But in the meantime, y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. And I am out of here.